I watched a kid get blown up the day before me. I watched their patrol walk out and then go around these buildings.
Kaboom! So they would just go out at night and bury IEDs everywhere?
Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, the next night, I'm like, okay, I've got like a premonition. I just felt it. So I ran around, did some stretches, looked at my feet and my legs and toes, and basically said goodbye. Ever since I can remember, I've always wanted to be in the military. I don't know if that was watching reruns of G.I. Joe. Growing up in the country and things like that, you just start craving action and adventure and the outdoor life. My little brother became an Army Ranger. And then my sister joined the Marines. So they both followed my twin and I into the service. And I ended up being a recon Marine and a scout sniper. I always enjoyed the thrill of the hunt. My earliest days of hunting would have to be with my dad and brothers. We would sneak around, and some of it acquired stealth. Hunting brings me back to the feeling of it all the things that tie you back to that excitement, that thrill, that sense of adventure. It definitely gets me back in the feels of like that camaraderie and brotherhood. Closest thing I can get to it. I'm ready. Once I was injured, the slate was wiped clean. It was pretty dark. I almost died during several follow-on surgeries. But I was always determined to get better. I had to refocus my mind. I was very resistant to any help. I did a lot of things on my own just to see if I could or how difficult things would be. Probably more than anything to prove to myself that I could do those things. I probably made my life a lot harder, but I also was figuring stuff out and building more mental fortitude. And I think that's what kept me alive, to be honest. I think when it started being like, oh, I really want to get outside and get outdoors, that was the thing where, yeah, I can go on my hands, and go through the bushes. I have done some hikes by myself or gone through it, but I come back with swollen hands, bloody knuckles, and my shoulders feel like they're about to fall off.
Speaking of help, there's a person coming to mind. Who's Cole Kramer?
Who is Cole Kramer? That's how you're gonna ask that question?
Oh, I think I got one right there. Oh, yeah.
It's not funny.
Cole and I were connected at our Veterans Adaptive Athlete Shoot.
The first time I met Jonathan, your first glance down and he's got no legs and this dude's like good spirits.
We figured out we're both from Kansas.
It was just kind of one of those deals where it's like, oh man, right on, a couple Kansas boys hanging out on the side of a mountain. It was inspiring because he just had like a drive and a charisma about him.
I thought he was a pretty badass dude. When I figured out what he did for a living, I learned that he was a guide in Alaska. Probably the most professional guide that I've encountered. And since day one has always been an instant friend. I haven't really done any extreme things without Cole. He's always wanted to get me out and doing more and believed that I could do that and wanted to do that for me. Yeah, he's got a special place in my heart.
Cheers.
Cheers, brother. Thank you.
At the Wild Sheep Show, I really wanted to make sure Jonathon was going to be there.
We're gonna do something kind of fun, I think.
I had talked with a few close friends of mine.
My wife called me and said, hey, I remember the kid got injured in Afghanistan. I think we should buy him a Dall sheep hunt. I'm like, okay, yeah, we can talk about that.
Jonathon, if you could come up on stage.
You could see like the twinkle in the Demoski's eyes when they said, oh, sheep hunting.
My wife said, no, we ought to buy this. And I said, yeah, I'll talk to you about it later. She said, well, I already bought it. Really, anybody that does that kind of sacrifice for my country, our country, that's the least we could do.
That like blew me away. It brought me to tears, to be honest. Like, yeah, I didn't think like anything like this would ever happen.
And we've got a question for you.
That was really, really cool when Gray asked Jonathon, hey,
Would you like to go sheep hunting?
when I heard that we would be going up to go sheep hunting, our big hurdle was going to be how we were going to get Jonathon around in the mountains. It can be pretty challenging. And so that's where we went into customizing this pack with the help of Barney Sports, the pack company, and then also some of the folks at SITKA. We were able to really make that thing comfortable for Jonathon. I got to talking to Colleen, and she went into hyper overdrive. We were able to have it to be as comfortable as you could on your back.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes to being on Cole's back.
Best ride in the mountains right here.
Little as movement as possible because it throws you off balance.
Jonathon said he weighs 135, but I think he's gotten heavier. You know what I mean, John?
It's a lot of weight, and it could get us both hurt.
It was just a lot of training with heavy weight, because I feel like that's probably the best solution, just getting your body mentally and physically prepared.
Smashing my guts out, collapsing my pelvic bone, and trying not to erupt a disc. But if you don't train with the weight, you never know how it's going to feel.
Colleen made this pad from a turkey vest. We just didn't want any sharp edges to cut away on Jonathon or snag anything.
SITKA customized tons of clothing for me. We've been cutting and fitting, sewing and tacking. So to have Colleen do this labor of love to match my injuries, it's real special. And she's a special woman.
My next question is, okay, who are we going with? And when they told me Knoll Outfitters, that to me was unbelievable, because I've always wanted to go to the Northwest Territories, see the McKenzie Mountains.
This part of the NWT is so special because of the remoteness of it. It's such untouched places in the world. We have terrain here that suits everybody. You know, we have really rugged terrain, we have softer terrain.
I was very thankful for Glenda to be willing to accommodate such a thing, because, you know, there's some people and some outfitters that thought it was a liability. Glenda had no issue. She took it on and she laid out the red carpet for us. You know, still a sheep hunt. You're not just dropping in on sheep. You're still having to hike. You're still having to do whatever needs to be done. And so I was very thankful that she took on that task when she frankly didn't have to.
How you doing?
Good, Matt, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Jonathon, nice to meet you.
John?
Nice
to meet you.
To give Jonathon that experience, which he didn't think he could ever do. It's just different when you're around someone like that who just appreciates just being out there. My whole goal was to help him experience the mountains.
Everything I have in front of me, everything I've done since my injury was unlocked because of my injury. And that's also like something positive that I hold on to. I always told myself it could be worse. You have to play the cards that you're dealt. Like, you just need to get after it and figure out a way. A lot of people talk about brotherhood in the military, and I went there expecting to find brotherhood and camaraderie right off the bat.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
That's not the case. True brotherhood is people that you train and establish relationships with. Then it's really forged under hardship and pressure and just miserable situations. It's not a given, like you really have to earn it.
Dall sheep is where most people will start out their sheep hunting, but they're also one of the most physical. The terrain can really vary. You can get into some really rough and rugged shale, jagged rock, so you never know what you're gonna get. And in that area where we hunted, you know, you still had to be smart, and you still had to be careful.
Just spotted 2 rams. We're just gonna load up and try and get a closer look. We got Cole, John. I just want to confirm before we make them hike all the way over where we came from. He looks like a bighorn. Right where the grass hits, they're bedded at the base of that. So from where we're at the ridge, it's 1100. You'll get a good look once we get over there. If we get a crack, he's one we want. He looks really good.
One of the biggest reasons I love hunting, the core values of the brotherhood, it's really close to a military experience.
You could go down and up and then just hike up back up.
Those are the moments I live for. Embrace this stuff together. We have a mission to accomplish.
I've got 3.5 for 527 yards.
That's all real. It definitely takes me back.
Yeah, left ram, left ram.
Safety off, good to go.
I'm ready. Yeah, you got him, dude. Just another. Yeah, you got him again.
He's gone.
Good shooting, buddy.
Thank you, Lord.
What a dream come true. To be able to look over and see him super happy, it was very much worth the hard work, effort, and preparation. It all paid off.
The sheep world's very small because everybody in it understands what it took to get that sheep.
I walked under the blood-red moon, and I've seen those wolves gather round.
It's a mutual respect.
And I've spent some time with the devil, but never have I found another.
This is a hard life up here, you know. Unfortunately, today, it's an expensive sport. So not everybody can do it because of the cost, but on the other side of it, not everybody can do it because of the physical and mental side of it. So when you can combine both of those or all three of those, it kind of makes it the pinnacle of hunting, if you would.
Thanks, brother. Thanks for all the help, Dad. That was amazing.
It's a sacrifice you got to make to actually get one.
Pretty unbelievable, to be honest.
And I've tasted too many temptations, and I've been chased by a demon hound. Lord, I just can't be satisfied.
the #1 thing that comes to mind. It's just the gratitude I have for the awesome generosity of everybody that's come together to make this happen for me. It's kind of overwhelming to think about. It's a dream come true. Thank you so much. It's incredible.
Thanks for what you did.
It was a no-brainer that of all the places in the world to be able to get Jonathon a sheep, this is one of the ones that is going to be able to do it. It just worked out how it was supposed to. What my job is here is to help people's dreams come true, and it doesn't matter who it is, that's our job, and there's no better job in the world. The fact that we're able to help somebody like this to, you know, still realize a small dream after they've made such a huge sacrifice. It's an honor to all of us here.
It really sucks just being confined to that lifestyle that you don't want to live, you know? It takes others to help you to get you out of that.
You don't have to throw a human on your back, but to just try and help out in the ways that you can. Even when life does throw you a curveball and things like that happen, it's not over. You can still overcome things, and that's what Jonathon is showing people of his resilient ability to keep living a vibrant life of excitement and adventure when it would be very, very easy just to sit at home.
Being in a truly remote place, like how cool and special it was. The wide open wilderness out there, and it was just, yeah, I keep saying it, incredible. It was amazing. I always think of it. You asked me about life before and after the injury. The hard times still come. It's not easy living in this chair. There's always shit that messes with you. My mindset never changed from being a recon Marine to post-injury. I'm a recon Marine. Now it's like I have different challenges and obstacles to face. And I have limitations, but part of the creed is not accepting limitations set down before you. So to a degree, you have to accept that things are different. You don't have to accept your limitations.
Take me with you, I promise that I would change. Oh, I told you once, told you twice that I would change.